Well, hey friends and neighbors, this is Chuck out at Sheraton Park Farms. Welcome back to the farm. So, got a little bit of a different video again tonight, and this is based on a survey that I done on the channel. If you go to YouTube, go over to the Sheraton Park Farms channel, under the community tab, we done a poll the other night asking what kind of videos you folks would like to see. And we had an overwhelming response that folks wanted to hear a little bit more about some farm business kinds of things. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So stick around for a little while and let's talk farm business and what we've got going on. We've got some pretty exciting stuff coming up and we'll share some numbers with you. So hang around with us for a little while. So like I said, the other night we done a poll on the channel just asking folks kind of what would you like to see? What kind of information are you interested in hearing from us, and what would you like to talk about? And overwhelmingly, again, the response was farm business. So let's bring that poll over here. We'll show it real quick. Pigs were 22%, chickens were 4%. I'm kind of disappointed. I like chickens. Sheep 13%, general chores and farm life 18%, and then again farm business kind of took the lead at 44%. So those were the numbers. So what are we going to talk about tonight? Well, I've got a couple things I want to talk about. First off, I want to talk a little bit about our numbers and how we've done this year with the COVID, what we're calling the COVID bump, and have we been able to sustain the numbers that we saw during March, April, and May through the end of August. I'm recording this the last day of August, so we're going to be able to compare a pretty solid, clean 3 months, March, April, May to June, July, and August. And we'll talk a little bit about some things that I think have caused that number to be where it is. And then second, I want to talk a little bit about a farmer's market setup and what we're doing there. We're going to pick up a new market. There's some challenges with it. We're going to talk about what we've done to mitigate those challenges and what we've done to prepare to get ready to go to that market. So that's sort of what I got on my mind tonight and what we're going to talk about. Don't have my hat on because I'm in the house. My grandma always told me when you're in the house, you need to take your hat off. So don't have my hat on, but it's always close. So there's the hat. There's the hat. All right, so first off, let's bring over our square. And square, I'm going to shrink myself down here in the corner. Square is what we use. Oh, that's not what I want to see. Square is the application that we use to track all of our sales. And if you're not familiar with Square, it's a small white device that you use to take credit card payments. We use the touchless Square, and with the touchless Square, we can also take tap cards. We can take Apple Pay, Google Pay, chip cards, all kind. The point being, we want to make it easy for our customers to spend money with us. So the nice thing about Square is we can also track inventory and we can also track cash sales. So even if a customer comes up to us and they buy a dozen eggs on Saturday for $5 and they pay cash, we still put that information into the Square so we can track what we're selling, how much of what we're selling, and what the dollar figure is in terms of how much we collect for that particular day. So I'm not going to get super specific on our numbers. Glad to share numbers with you, but I'm a little bit hesitant to share some exact stuff. And we may figure out a way that we can share some exact stuff with folks that are really, really interested in it a little bit later on. But that's something I'm kind of kicking around right now. But anyway, these are our numbers for 2020 and what we've done so far in 2020. And there's some interesting things that, let me blow this out just a little bit. There's some interesting things here that I want to point out. First off, for those of you that don't know, we do a delivery business during the off season from our market. Our market runs basically from the end of April until the end of October. So November, December, January, February, March, and during most of April, we typically will do a delivery business. And what we do on our delivery, it's really more of a drop point. What we do during those months is on our website, you can go online. We set up a farm store there. You can order online pay online, and then just meet us at a designated location at a specific date and time. Drive up, we hand you your bag, and off you go, unless you want to stand around and talk for a little bit. And so that keeps a little bit of stuff going for us during the wintertime. The primary reason that we do that is so that we stay in touch with a lot of our customers. Like I've said before, we have a lot of customers that have become friends of ours, and so it's a great way for us to stay in touch with them. We get to see them every other week and have a little bit of interaction with them. So back to what we've done this year. First off, this is our sales for January through December of 2020. Now, certainly we're just right now here at the beginning of September. So this is what we've done for the year. If you go back and notice January, you can see these are bi-weekly bumps that we had for our drop point. We did have, every once in a while we'll have somebody that would come to the farm and buy. It wouldn't necessarily be on a drop point day. But you can see here we had a few sales, January, February, March. And then we get into this date here represents the 15th day of March. And that's about the time that all the COVID stuff started kind of ramping up. That might have been a delivery day, but I kind of doubt it. Because there's two transactions there. But this here, from this bump here over to here, represents a full 7 days. And that 7 days was the biggest 7 days that we had of the entire year. We done a little bit over $4,000 worth of business in 7 days. Again, that's the biggest week that we've had all year long. So if you follow on out, here we continue to do a little bit of delivery business, and then this spike here is, I think that's the first day of the market that we opened up. The interesting thing here is that for March, April, and May, if we compare those numbers to June, July, and August, we only were short of the COVID bump, what we're calling the COVID bump, for the month of March, April, and May. And you can see during the first part of March, there wasn't a whole lot of business. During those 3 months compared to the last 3 months, June, July, and August, we're only about $800 behind what we done during those first 3 months. And that is really, really encouraging to us, because that gives us a little bit of an indication of a couple things. Number one, we think that we have actually retained some of the customers that we picked up during this March, April, May time period. Also, we've added some selection during June, July, and August. We've added some beef. We had a little bit of beef here in March that was left over from last year, but it wasn't very much. And so the beef that we've been able to add during June, July, and August has really kept our numbers high. Because when I look at specific item sales, beef is it's not the leader. Pork continues to be the leader, but beef is a leader during these months. So really, really encouraging to us that we've been able to maintain that COVID bump. We've been able to maintain sales at a rate that was what we were doing during the height of the scare and the food shortage and the pandemic. A couple other interesting things here. If you're looking at the square and some of the reports, you can see Saturday certainly is our biggest day, followed by Friday. Those are our 2 market days. Talked about this before. We do a small market on Friday evenings out at Bermuda Run, which is about 45 minutes west of here. And then Saturday is our big day for the High Point Farmers Market, which is the linchpin market for us. Interestingly enough, during the month of August, which has been the second highest sales month that we've had this year, next to May, we did miss a couple of Bermuda Run markets. So if we'd had those, and that was basically due to weather, if we had been able to meet those markets on those Friday evenings, probably would have matched or maybe even exceeded what we had done during the COVID bump. Again, the thing that I'm trying to say here is that we're really, really encouraged based on what our sales have been outside of that sort of panic buying period that I think a lot of us were seeing during the months of March and April and May to a little bit lesser degree. So good news there. Again, Fridays, Saturdays, our two biggest days, and then this chart here you can see what time of day we sell the best. Typically between 9, 10, and a little bit into 11 o'clock. Those are our top times that we sell here for the farm. So, what does this mean, and what are we doing about it? Well, a couple things. Number one, right now we're in really good shape on inventory. The freezer is pretty packed right now. We are still continuing to sell. We had a great day this past Saturday. This past Saturday here in Central North Carolina, it rained. I mean, and it rained like the dickens. But we had one of our best days for a market day on Saturday. The folks that came out were serious. They came out to buy. And I'll just show you on Saturday we done a little bit over $1,800. So we had a fantastic day on Saturday. So was really pleased about that. Now what are we doing? We're adding another market. We're going to pick up a third market during the week, and we're doing this primarily. I know it's late season. We're doing this primarily to set ourselves up to be ready to pick this market up next year. We're going to do a little bit of a test run here for 4 weeks. That's all that's left on this market, but we're going to go ahead and pick up another market. This is another market that's located in the county to the west of us, Forsyth County. It's out in the village of Clemens. We're working with them right now to get set up to be a vendor at that market for the rest of the year. Getting prepared to do that. The problem with that is that market is on Saturday morning, and there's only 2 of us. There's Sandra and myself. So we've been able to recruit some help from some friends, some folks that y'all have seen on the channel here. Coral is going to help us out a little bit on some Saturday mornings. David is going to help us out some on some Saturday mornings. And the plan here is to divide and conquer. Right now, Sandra's going to continue to do the High Point market, and I'm going to go out and I'm going to pick up the Saturday morning market in Clemens. So it's presented a couple of challenges for us. Logistically, we don't have enough of our market materials that we use to do that market. So for the past day, we've been kind of scrambling around trying to pick up some materials and some supplies and that kind of thing. We'll talk about that in a second. And what it's costing us. But we feel like it's an investment in the farm. We need to pick up some additional customers for us to continue to grow. Our goal for 2020 was to double our sales from what we had done in 2019. We met those sales. We matched what we had done in 2019 in July of this year. Based on our numbers, based on our trajectory, we are on target to surpass that goal. Again, our goal was to double what we done last year. We're on target right now to surpass doubling what we done in 2019 in terms of gross sales. So super excited about that. We're really excited for the growth of the farm and the way things are going. And so we decided that in order to help push that forward, if we want to set a big goal for next year, we're going to have to expand our customer base. And to expand our customer base, we're going to have to hit another market. And we're going to do some other marketing types of things, working on growing our email list, doing some additional advertising and that kind of thing. But one of the key things that we feel like we need to do is expand into another farmer's market. So we've picked this one for a couple of strategic reasons based on location, some demographics of the area. We've talked to some other vendors, We've talked to some other vendors that also work that market. They've encouraged us to come. They feel like we'd be a good fit. So that's the path that we're taking right now. So what's it going to cost us to set up and do another farmer's market? You know, we do have a small setup, what we call a small setup, which is a 10 by 10 setup that we do at Bermuda Run on Friday nights compared to our big setup, our 10 by 20 setup that we do on Saturday mornings. But we use a lot of stuff on Friday night that we also use on Saturday morning. So just running some quick numbers, it's going to cost us about $600 to get enough stuff or it has cost us. We've done spent it. It's going to cost us about $600 to get the stuff for the second market on Saturday. Just to go through real quick a couple of things that we're having to get. We do need to get an additional tent. We use these Euramax tents. We've already got that one. We've got a small one that we use on Saturday night, so we were in good shape on that. And all the stuff, I'm going to post a link to all this in the description down below. These Euramax tents, we found them. We've had the Easy Ups and some other ones in the past. They are a little more pricey, but we do like the Euramax tents primarily because you can get parts for them. If you need a latch or a canopy or a foot or whatever, you can get parts for these tents, and that's the thing that we really like about those. So luckily we did have a Euramax tent, a 10 by 10, so that wasn't something that we had to buy. So that was a little bit of a relief on us whenever it comes to cost there. Coolers, we're short on coolers, so we've had to buy some additional coolers. And if you remember in one of the other videos, we talked about our color coordination and how we try to keep everything red and white. So these Island Breeze 48-quart coolers by Igloo, I think they're almost out of production now. These things are getting tough as hen's teeth to find. I did find 5 of them. I think I bought 5. Yeah, I bought 5 of them from Dick's Sporting Goods. They had a deal on free shipping, so we bought the coolers. They should be here sometime this week, hopefully. So kind of waiting on them. We did have to get. Let me find my link here. We did have to get some more banners. So we only had one set of banners. So we've got our farm banner, which is, I'll bring it up here, Sheraton Park Farms, pasture-raised beef, lamb, pork, and poultry. It's got our phone number, our website address, got to be NC certification on there. So we've got the farm banner coming. Also, I've talked about this before. We have a specific banner that says that we're a meat market. And again, that is to draw attention to what we do. Everything that we do in terms of our farmers markets is to draw attention. And that's what you've got to do. If you're at a market, whether you're selling chicken or whether you're selling tomatoes, you've got to get attention. If you don't get somebody's attention, they're going to buy from somebody else. So you've got to get folks' attention. That's your primary goal, is for them to notice you at that market. And so we do use this meat market sign as an attention getter to say that, hey, if you're looking for meat, we've got it. If you're coming looking for crafts or face masks or tomatoes or whatever, fill in the blank, and it's not meat, then we're not your people. So we have had to order these 2 banners. I got real lucky on those. Vistaprint was running a deal using a coupon code. I don't see my coupon code, but we did use coupon code, and we were able to save a ton of money on getting our banners. So $121 for a couple of banners for the market booth. Talked about the tent. So these things, if you've seen us at a market or you're using coolers, you got to get you some of these things. These are, we call them ice blankets. These are cubes. They're water cubes that these blankets are filled with cubes of water. You just toss these in the freezer and freeze them. The nice thing about these things is that a couple things. Number one, when they melt, you don't get water all over your stuff, so your stuff stays dry. For the most part, you do get a little condensation, but you don't get that pond of water in the bottom of your cooler. Also, you can cut these things out to make a specific size. They are, how big are these things? They're 19 by 15 and a half. So, if you need something that's just, 6 cubes by 6 cubes, you can cut this thing and save smaller cubes and use those in a smaller cooler or whatever you need. So we love these things. These things are awesome. Chemical free, they're water. They're just fantastic. They fold very nicely. So we'll lay them on top of our coolers. They work great. So we had to order some of those ice blankets. I think well, altogether between these and our gel packs, I think we spent $100 on freezing stuff. Another nice item that we use, we drop these in the bottom. These are cooler shock. These things are fantastic. Whenever you get them, they've got a powder in them. You fill them up with water and then use an iron to seal the edges over here. And then drop those things in the freezer and they freeze rock solid and they stay frozen all day long. These things are fantastic. Like I say, we put these in the bottom of our coolers, pack the meat in, and then we put the ice blankets on top. And even Central North Carolina, 92, 95 degree days from 8:30 to 1 o'clock, when we get home and we put things back in the freezer, it is still solid. We don't have anything that starts getting soft. Everything stays nice and frozen for us, so that works out really, really nice. Otherwise, we had a couple of things to get. I did pick up another table, just a small folding table. I got that at Walmart. I think that was $40. A couple tablecloths. I looked on Amazon, couldn't find them on Amazon, so we found some at Walmart that I like the cloth ones. You can get the vinyl ones, and if you like those and you've got something that's kind of messy that you need to dispose, those things or wipe down, those things are super. But we go with the cloth tablecloths. They're just a little bit, it's just a little bit nicer, and so we try to do that. Did have to buy a set of weights for the tent. That was about $20. Bought another cash box, $20. And then our cooler signs, and I've posted photos of those and videos in a video in the past. I'll try to put a link to that below. Tell you what, if you'll hang on, I'll grab one. So these are our cooler signs. We just park these right in front of the cooler. They've got a lip on the back. We set the cooler on it so they're firm. They're right up against the cooler. These are metal and fell out the road here. Jeff Morgan, J Morgan Signs, and I'll post a link to his Facebook page in the description down below. And I think somebody that had watched the videos had reached out to Jeff and had a set of these made. These are metal, so this is metal, and then Jeff makes us these super nice little stickies. They're magnetic, and so at the market on Saturday, we just stick these on the. Trying to do it backwards based on the camera. We just stick those on the signs in front of the cooler. Whatever's in that cooler, it's got the hang on, those things are sticky. Whatever's in that cooler, we've got a little menu board of the things that are for sale in that cooler. And then if we sell out, so let's say we got whole tenderloin today, we sell out a whole tenderloin, I just pull that off, pop it on the back, and then it's not an issue. Folks come by and they don't even see the whole tenderloin, so they don't ask for it. So these things are just awesome. Again, Jeff Morgan, J Morgan Signs here in Greensboro on Elm Street. These guys do a fantastic job. We love these. So Jeff's making us another bunch of those with some more of the stickies to go. I think we're spending about $120 on those. So again, around $600 to get us into that next market and to get us set up. And it's going to be nice having another full setup of stuff, so that we can break away and go do a second market on Saturdays. There were some other just small things, some clamps and some tubes to put our banners in and that kind of stuff. So, but anyway, again, COVID bump, we've been able to manage through that. We've got a second market coming up, trying to continue to grow our business and grow our customer base and keep this farm going and keep growing. At a reasonable and steady pace. So that's our goal. Anyway, I think that's going to do it. I'll post a link to some other videos over here on that side. I'll post a couple of videos over there to some other stuff we got going on. The subscription button is going to pop up in the center of the screen. If you've not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Follow along with us. I think we're at 1,324. Trying to get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So share these videos with your friends, other folks that may be interested in farming and where their food comes from. And we appreciate y'all watching. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks.